What's going on, YouTube modeling community? Pappy here at West Georgia Rods and Customs. I get a lot of questions through social media, either through YouTube, Instagram, a lot on Facebook about different tips or techniques that I like to use in building my models. One of the common questions that I get asked a lot is how do I install my windshields as far as the clear on a lot of my builds? And I tell you, it's one of the things that when I go either to a show, that's one of the things if I'm a judge or anything that I look for. I look for imperfections in paint. I look for mole, as far as mole lines that hasn't been removed, properly. But different things. But windshields are one of the things that I look out for as far as seeing if there's. I look for fingerprints on a windshield if that hasn't been properly removed. I look for glue lines that that is kind of slipped into the exterior view of the windows, things like that. So one of the things that was asked here recently was how do I install them without getting glue on the windows. So I'm going to show y'all. I'm doing this today on the old '66 Nova Gasser. What I first do is I'll take the sprue, the clear sprue, and sometimes I'll use my nippers to cut it off. If not, I'll take a good sharp X-Acto blade and score down the edge where it's connected to the sprue at. And then once we remove it, I'll take normally a 320 grit sanding stick, go around the edges, remove any flashing or any nibs from where you removed it from the sprue. And then once we do that, I'll take a microfiber, try saying that 3 or 4 times, a microfiber towel, and we'll get all the greasy fingerprints off of that and any other residue of dust. And then we'll set it to the side and do the front or or the rear, whichever one. Once we've accomplished that, I'll try a test fitment, how well it fits into the opening. What I'm normally going to look for is gaps along the A-pillar, things like that. I'm going to look for gaps across the top of the roof line, make sure that the side windows, if the car has it, line up properly. Once I've got that and I feel comfortable with that, before I even put the windshield or the glass into the body itself, I'm going to, while the glass is out of the car, I'll take a piece of, this is the 1-inch Tamiya tape that's available. I'll take and run a piece that's about 2 inches long, right down the center of the windshield. And I'll lightly just place that into the opening where the windshield goes at. And then I'll just take a gander, just flip it around, take a look, make sure there's, like I said earlier, no gaps, anything like that. Then I'll press it down in there. And once I get it in there, I'll generally take a Q-tip, and we'll press the tape down very securely. That way it doesn't move while it's sitting, while the glue is sitting up. And then and once I'm happy with that, I'll look around it, looking again, paying particular attention at the A-pillars, no gaps or anything. And once I've accomplished that, I'll move on to the rear. And same scenario, before I even install it into the body, I'll place a piece of 2-inch long, 1-inch tape down the center, and I'll gently just lay it down in there, make sure that the openings are covered very well on both sides all the way around it. And then I'll just lightly take the Q-tip and just kind of burnish that tape down. That way it is secure in the opening. And I know the question probably is on everyone's mind is, why am I putting a tape down through here? Well, number one, it pushes that down in there into the opening, but it also gives me a good glue line. And when I say a glue line, I'm going to take the Q-tip right here. I'm going to glue this edge. I may sometimes run it down through a little bead of glue down through here and right through here. But once I pull this off, once the glue has dried, I'll pull the tape off lightly. I'll take my finger, I'll pick it up, pick that tape, and I'll just gently pull it while I'm holding my finger, against that. That way I don't pull that window out. And then do the same thing. Then once I get that pulled out, I'm going to, and then I'll run another little glue line over where the tape was at initially. I'm going to set some of this stuff out of here. The other question is, what kind of glue do I use? I tell you what, and do not, I cannot stress, do not use the old red glue. Anything like that, that's a no-no. I stay away from that. Especially with windows. Testers makes this clear part cement and window maker. I use this a lot. A lot of guys use white Elmer's glue, things like that. Mod Podge. That's used a lot in the installation of windows. So whatever you want, but use something that's that is for the installation of windows. And I'm going to do this on camera, and it's kind of, you can use a Q-tip. This applicator is very, very thin. It squirts out just a thin bead of glue. And I'm just going to lightly, and I'm just going down that edge of the window line, just right down through here. And this is going to be enough just to, I don't know if y'all can see this on camera. I hope you can, but if not, it will, but just enough to where, and that glue tends to wick right up under it. When I say wick, it kind of follows that window line. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here on the top. I'm just going to kind of drop I'm going to turn it this way so I can get to it. We're going to just kind of run a small bead of glue all the way down through there. And if you can see that glue just kind of wicking up under that glass, which is what I want it to do. And it's not going to wick out, it's not going to try to crawl out to the, outside the window line itself. So, but that's all she takes right there. And then we're going to come back here and do the same on this, the same on the back glass right here. We'll just put a thin bead, and I'm just barely touching the glass itself. And that glue, that tape will, keep it into position of where I want it at. And then we're going to flip it around right here, do the same thing, right down that window line, right down the edge of that window. All the way down. We'll come down through here. Now, once this glue, and this glue takes about 2 to 3, I generally let it sit for about, I usually just set it to the side and just let it, let the glue do its job, and it will set up eventually. Now all I'm going to do to that, as you can see, I've got the window is where I want it at. It's secure with a piece of tape. Sometimes I'll just take and just kind of lightly press that, and that kind of lets that glue push in a little bit. If I turn it over, you don't see any glue marks, anything like that starting to cascade down over into the windshield itself. I'll set it to the side, and we'll let it set up, and then we'll remove the tape. Once I remove the tape, as earlier I said, I'll just I'll take the same glue, the windshield glue, and put a fine little bead right down where the glue, where the tape is at, and that windshield's good and secure in there. So, but that's hope this tip helps anyone out in with their builds. I'll pull this. We'll like I said, set this off to the side. We won't touch it, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Hope this finds everyone well. Hope you're having a great time with all your builds. Remember, folks, if you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Pappy out of here.